Okay, well, we will probably not save any days. We, however, do go out for pizza a good bit. So therefore, we're still a pretty decent authority to talk about Steven Universe. Anyway, we're the OSMcast. Or Ninja Turtles. I think by going out for pizza, we could also talk about Ninja Turtles.
I could talk about Ninja Turtles with some degree of knowledge. I could be considered at least, within a certain time frames of a Ninja Turtles expert.
So anyways, I'm Basil.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Douglas.
And that's us. We're the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. Which you can find at OSMcast.com. I can talk good. I don't need Anna to edit anything out this time. I probably will need Anna to edit something.
Good.
This time, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure.
That's one hand, that's her job. On the other hand, let's try to make as little of that as possible.
Right? So, yes. Hi, folks. We're here to talk about things. We're talking about Steven Universe today, but before then, today is apparently a very auspicious day. It's Tuesday, and today is Pokemon's 23rd birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Pokemon. And they announced a whole new Pokemon. 2 of them. Well, it's the same one, but there's 2 of them, as the Pokemons
Generally
do.
Yeah.
They've got Sword and they've got Shield. So if you own both, you can Sword and Board it. It is in the Galar region, which I don't know why I said that way, because it's based off Britain and not France. We already did France. That was X and Y. And we got whole new starters. They've already shown them off. We've got the grass type Grookey, kind of a monkey type. Got the fire type Scorbunny, which, believe it or not, is a rabbit. And water type Sobble, which is more of a
very sad tadpole.
It looked like a chameleon to me.
Yeah, I think both could sort of work.
Yeah.
So, what's your starters?
The bunny.
I don't know. I'm still so torn. On the one hand, I really want the Fire Bunny.
Yeah.
Fire Bunny looks... And it fits the feel of, Britain, so well.
Yeah.
And Watership Down and all the reasons that I need the Fire Bunny. But I think that the little chameleon... Water chameleon might be maybe the shape of my soul, and it may be my eternal partner that I've always been needing. The reason I haven't had a Pokemon any more favorite than Lapras has just been because this Pokemon hasn't existed. So I need to see their evolved forms.
That would be interesting. I'm kind of hoping the bunny turns just kind of like the rabbit fighter guy from Summer Wars, but
that's a very popular thing on Twitter. I don't know. This is the strongest set of starters I've seen in some time. Normally, I can go, yep, fire type. That's what I want. Almost the only time that has not happened is when I think I chose, whatever one turns into Greninja. Yeah. I liked that water type.
Yeah.
This time, I legit don't know. The monkey looks pretty cool. I like it has a little stick in its head that it can bang around with. That's neat. Fire Bunny looks like the Sonic the Hedgehog character we always should have had but never got. and I think I think Scorbunny is what I want to be in life, but I think Sobble is who I actually am in life.
Yes.
So
I find a little bit of appeal in the monkey. Just, if...
I don't really like monkeys.
Yeah, I kind of do like monkeys, but that's...
But if you do like monkeys, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's because if you do like monkeys, it's a good monkey.
Kind of like the original Pokemon. I kind of wanted, Charmander, but I kept kind of drifting to Bulbasaur.
And so I'm really curious to see what the Evolve types turn into.
Right.
This is all very exciting, and for once, actually, since I believe this should theoretically, knock on wood, will be releasing the upcoming Monday, that this is actually even somewhat timely, although who knows, we'll be getting more Pokemon information. As long as we don't, not release this in a year like we've done in the past, we should be good. Yes. So.
Give the trainer a Scottish accent, you cowards.
Also, Dragon Quest Minute. We're getting Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch. It looks awesome. I'm very excited.
With Japanese voices and a better soundtrack.
Yes.
Presumably still with English voices, because they're fine.
Yes, that's true. You get both vocal options and orchestrated sounds, or the not orchestrated sounds. Screw you, Sugiyama.
And I'm pretty sure the Japanese voice cast is going to be fabulous. So there's that too.
So, all right, there we go. That's been your Dragon Quest Minute. So, moving on to Moments of Awesome. Kevin, go.
I don't have one. Well, I sort of do, actually.
Well, you still have to do the theme song.
Oh. It's a moment of awesome.
Now, what's your moment of awesome?
Yeah, I know. Mortal Engines. Because, I don't know, we'll probably never do a whole OSMcast on it.
What is this?
It is a film based on the first novel in a series of novels by an author guy whose name I can't remember. But they're mostly about giant rolling cities on wheels that go and devour other smaller cities on wheels. It's municipal Darwinism. And it is an absolutely bonkers post-apocalyptic world of weird mishmashes of technological levels. And you've got giant rolling cities, super killer cyborgs, airships, lightning guns, absolute nonsense everywhere. And, my feeling is, it's a really bonkers concept for your average moviegoer. And it is not super faithful to the novel to kind of, possibly alienate people who read the novel. But it's my right kind of bonkers. And it's a better Final Fantasy movie than any Final Fantasy movie. Just like a young history student who gets tied up with a badass survivor lady with a cool scar. And they get tossed out into the big wide world and shenanigans. And there's evil super technology and that could destroy the world, and London's going to use it because they're the big rolling city of death. Badass pirate lady, cool airships, killer robot, as I said. It's fun to watch. It is a big, beautiful visual spectacle. Critics were pretty harsh on it, but I was like, I don't know, these actors seem good to me. I like it. You got Hugo Weaving in there being alternately charming and evil like Hugo Weaving does. I did not recognize either of the main leads, but I thought they did fine. And it's like, I feel like this is a movie, I don't know, in 5 or 6 years people will be going, that was actually pretty good. Except it did bad in theaters and we'll never get sequels. So, and we'll never get a prequel series, which was also a pretty good set of novels. But, Also, go read the novels. They're pretty cool.
Are they also called Mortal Engines?
Mortal Engines, if you search for Mortal Engines, you'll find it. If you type it in Amazon. I can't remember if that's the original title, because it's one of those books that has different name in the U.S. as Britain is a British author. There's also a couple name changes in the American version for reasons I still don't understand. But, yeah.
So you can read or watch your Mortal Engines while playing your Pokemon in the Galar region.
In fact, if this comes out in a week,
Shield.
it might actually be out on video. I bought it digital. It's coming out in a week or two when we're recording this from. So you might be able to go out and buy it, or you can probably rent it from any of your favorite digital services.
Awesome. So, Doug, what's awesome?
You're not going to let me have a moment of awesome other than this one specific thing, are you?
You can have an awesome for whatever you want.
Okay.
I had a guess, but I could be wrong.
I'm going to give my moment of awesome to not dying.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Okay. There we go.
Okay, Kevin filled at least a good 8 minutes with Mortal Engines. So you gotta at least give me 5 minutes of not dying, or we're gonna talk about your Roomba.
Oh yeah, my Roomba. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I thought you were gonna make me talk about how I got to ask a question of the McElroys, actually.
I mean, that was pretty awesome. And that was a moment of awesome. But they can already listen to you actually do it.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to do it as my moment of awesome, because even though it was the most awesome moment of my life recently, yeah, it's already on a podcast somewhere that you can go listen to. So I guess the next moment of awesome is going to be the Roomba.
Specifically the iRobot Roomba i7 Plus.
So, it's Valentine's Day, and my husband shows up. He didn't get me flowers or chocolates or anything like that. He got me a vacuum cleaner.
Robot vacuum
where
cleaner.
I did get my wife, our wonderful editor Anna, chocolates and flowers, I now feel like a scrub, as I did not get an amazing vacuum cleaner.
I didn't get nothing for nobody, because I'm single, ladies.
A vacuum cleaner with money that we got for Christmas specifically to buy the vacuum cleaner. So, the gift was that he actually went and bought it.
But it's amazing, and you named it her Fifi?
Yes. So we named the Roomba Fifi because so the Roomba has an app on the phone. And it shows you a map of what it's mapped out of your house and where it cleaned and everything. And through the app, it wants you to name your Roomba. And so we named ours Fifi.
Nice.
Because she is a French maid. And she's fancy.
I'm expecting art of that at some point.
But she comes out, she's mapped our whole house. It's an amazing Roomba because we'd always shied away from the Roomba in the past, because whenever we were we need to get a Roomba, but then we would look it up, and we'd always realize that the maintenance of a Roomba is more or less as much work as we would have done actually vacuuming our house. That was when we had a tiny house.
Right.
Now we have a much bigger house. So keeping this floor swept with the great Lady Gwendolyn, who sheds a lot, has been virtually impossible. We've only been living here for a little while, and I walk around and see these giant cat hair dust bunnies just accumulating. And I was like, ugh, it was such a chore. And so Barry got me this Roomba.
And this is the i7 Plus, so it's the super fancy Roomba that
Yes, it has a base station so that it empties its own bin. The complaint that the Roomba only picks up a little and then you have to keep changing it out, not a problem with this Roomba. This Roomba holds... So far, we have not yet had to change it, and we have it vacuuming every day. Also, it's smart enough that it will go to its base station, and then it'll come out and venture forth. And we set it on a schedule, telling it what rooms we want it to do. It mapped our house out weird because it's going off what's actually down on the floor, so it thought we had 2,100 different little rooms everywhere throughout the house. It thought that one side of the couch was a different room from the other side of the couch. But it's okay. That's been straightened out now.
That's why the robots will not be overthrowing us for a few more years at least.
Well, it was really neat to watch it think. I spent the first day that we had it just following it around. It was super unproductive what I was doing. Because I was just watching it, and I was watching it problem solve. I would watch it go into a place, turn around, slowly figuring out how to get out of this little alcove that it had gotten itself stuck in, or figuring out, or how to get itself navigated off of the floor separators that separate the tile from the wood floors. I would also watch it get lost. Like, it would be vacuuming, it would clean, it would move something. And then it would panic because the thing that it was supposed to bump into and stop, like, moved. And so it would have to go back to a point that it knew and, like, trace along the side to go, oh, yeah, I know where I am now. And then go back to where it was and continue. I remember watching the moment that it realized that our house has, like, a giant figure 8 and that it could go either way around. Like, when it connected the loop, that was pretty magical.
So yeah, that's the Roomba i7 Plus. I'm going to give you a twofer, folks. I'm going to give you a manga and a video game. The manga is Inside Mari from Shuzo Oshimi. It's being published by Denpa, aka Ed Chavez, and it is your classic, wonderful tale of body swap fun, only it's by the creator of Flowers of Evil, so it's not fun at all.
Oh my.
But incredibly engaging. Everyone should read this manga. It's great. I can't tell you more because then suddenly we'll go immediately into spoiler territory. But you should go read it. My next thing is Tetris 99. Holy crap, I didn't know I wanted to play a Battle Royale game.
I have that downloaded, but I've not tried it.
It is bonkers. First, it's actually made by Arika. So, the fighting, like, EX Layer, like, type people. Well, the other trick is that they make the PC Tetris Grandmaster games in Japan. Which is like the super ultra hardcore Tetris, where later ones, if you want to be a Grandmaster, you have to play Tetris only you don't actually know where the blocks are. That's like how high level you'll eventually get if you keep playing the Grand Master series. So what this is, it's a free game. You just have to have Nintendo's online thing for the Switch, which it's like $20 a year. So it's not very expensive to get NES games, blah, blah, blah. So it is literally, it's 99 people get thrown all playing Tetris, and last person slinging down those Tetraminos wins. Now here's the trick though, is that apparently, and I haven't really gotten too deep into this, but you can choose where you throw your garbage Tetris blocks to screw up other people. Because as this is competitive Tetris, so the more combos you build up, you can actually send garbage up below somebody else's Tetris playing ground, right? Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, you can use the different analog sticks on your Switch to target which side from you want to throw them. There are apparently also different options where you can, for example, one of the options is to counter somebody. So if someone drops a bunch of crap on you, it'll then next time you throw crap at somebody else, it's the person who threw crap on you. So there's lots of options. The actual playing of Tetris is super well done, super good. The game visually and audibly is kind of bare bones.
But it's just kind of Tetris.
It's Tetris.
Yeah.
And they're playing that jaunty theme that you want it to play.
Yeah.
Until you're the last 10 people that it plays Fly the Bumblebee. To help ratchet up that tension. I think after you get clear the halfway, the 50 people, it changes to a different song, I think, and then again the last 10 changes to the other song. Anyways, it's fun, it's tense, and it's free, and everyone's still playing it. And it's crazy that things like PUBG and Fortnite and now Apex Legends, and then this whole other thing comes out, and it's Battle Royale, but it's just freaking Tetris.
That's kind of great, really. I downloaded it because it's hey, here's this game for free, but I have not tried it yet.
Hey, have you tried the Daemon Ex Machina?
I've not
thing yet.
Tried the demo, no.
Maybe we can do that for next episode or something. We should both play it and see what we like about it.
Yeah, I kind of downloaded that too. And it's I've not touched my Switch a lot in the last few days, weeks. I don't know, actually in a while. I should play my Switch more.
Yeah, I was playing the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition pretty on the regs, And then a couple of days, I got a new laptop, and it kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
But I need to resume playing. You still need to get it.
Yeah, I actually need to get it.
You haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, so here's what happened. Here is what happened, you guys. I reserved it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And then the day it came out, Amazon said, whoops, something happened. We, for some reason, didn't get it through to you. So we just canceled. You have been charged. No harm, no foul. So I just kind of haven't gotten it. I haven't been too good about being able to leave the house lately, so I don't have any way to acquire it. Like,
yeah, I sort of know how that is sometimes.
Remind me next time we go out to run you by like a GameStop or something.
Yeah, like
just be like me not picking up whatever new Sega collection put Phantasy Star 4 in it.
Like my ventures outside have been with Basil or with Basil or to like the doctor's office, and that's pretty much been it.
I mean, I kind of relate to basically being a hermit if my friends didn't drag me out somewhere. But
yeah. There's a reason that we have a guest room, Kevin. Is because even though we moved, we want to keep the Kevin.
So all our insecurities aside.
And there are plenty of those.
Oh, there's plenty of those to go around.
We are theoretically not that podcast. We are the OSMcast. We're going to talk about awesome things. Which, in this case, will be Steven Universe. Well, the rest of Steven Universe. You know, spoiler alert, this is going to be a spoiler cast. Like, there's no real reason to go back to what we talked about, because we've already done the setup in a previous episode.
That was like season 1, basically.
Changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're somehow coming to this to find out whether or not you should watch Steven Universe, short answer, yes. Long answer, go back to our previous episode to find out why you want to watch it, because you do.
Yeah, you super want to watch Steven Universe. If you have young kids, they are already watching Steven Universe, and if you're not getting it, you need to get it.
And, watch out for the really rabid sections of the fandom, but that pretty much holds true of anything.
It's true. So, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're spoiling the mess out of Steven Universe. We'll be right back. You're listening to the OSMcast.
We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in garnets, amethyst, and pearl, and Steven!
Alright, folks, and we're back once again. In case you didn't get the memo, this is a spoiler cast. There is nothing but spoilers who live in this world. Don't forget that. So, holy crap, Steven Universe.
I can't believe Steven killed Dumbledore.
And Spike. I don't mean Spike Spiegel, he did that too, but I mean Spike from like little dragon buddy from like My Little Pony. Like, so he just straight up decapitated that guy. He was like, this is the end for you. I am the champion kid show now.
All the cutie marks in the world won't save you now, Spike. That'd be an interesting crossover.
So yeah, man. Oh god, this was a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sure was a show.
Like,
it did a thing. It aired.
It aired, and we watched it and everything.
And of course, we're also still living in a world with at least a movie coming and possibly another season.
Maybe, but I don't feel bad about talking about CD Universe as, quote, the rest of it, because what we got was
feels
was
like
pitched.
a really complete arc.
Yeah.
Where it has stopped feels like a really complete arc.
I really loved the ending. I loved the quiet little, like, disgruntled look of White Diamond just humoring her daughter or son.
Sibling,
her daughter, son,
sibling,
grandson.
nephew. I'm a little fuzzy on.
Weird. I mean, but it ultimately probably doesn't matter. But yeah.
But, taking the first steps to genuinely accepting that, the universe isn't ordered exactly like she would like it to be, and that's a good thing.
It felt like it was a response to the entire phenomenon of tiger momming.
A little bit.
It felt like White Diamond was a giant tiger mom.
And so, by tiger mom, you mean...
I don't know how to explain it.
Like, super intense and super controlling kind of
Yeah,
parent.
like the kind of parent that...
They're really wants to push you to excel, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, that views your success as a reflection of them as a person, and since they are good and great, you have to also be good and great.
Weirdly, a little bit like Connie's mom from the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Which I think Connie brings up, like, hey, you know, my parents were ultra-controlling first, but oh, look at me, I'm in space!
Yeah.
In this highly volatile, dangerous situation. I think even Steven might have went like, yeah, okay, maybe this is a bad idea.
Look, there's pluses and minuses to letting your children free range.
But good lord, like, I think when we last, in the season 1 that we watched, Steven Universe, that we last recorded on, the big reveal is that Garnet was a fusion.
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, that feels like such a long time ago.
Well, it was. Like, we're talking, like, several seasons later. Like,
Yeah.
This is a completed show now. Like, this is, apparently, when Rebecca Sugar, like, pitched the show to Cartoon Network, this was the entire design doc.
Yeah.
Like, this is the show that was pitched. Literally, like, and that's what they greenlit, was all of it. And thank God for it. Or thank Jim for it, thank Homeworld for it. Thank someone for it. But and it also feels like, you know, just the fact that fusions are a thing, like Guardians of Fusion, feels like such a not spoiler anymore.
Right.
Like, the show goes so many further directions.
Yeah, because that was a huge spoiler that Garnet was a fusion, and now that's just, you know...
The whole series finale was like, or season finale was a whole shift towards a more serious bent in the storytelling, even though most episodes are still light and silly about at least half the time. But, you know, it's like, it was like, oh, there's actual threats out there in the universe beyond, you know, what we've already established. You know, it's kind of...
Well, there's also stuff like, for example, like, I don't think the cluster was a thing until after Garnet.
Yeah.
Right.
Was a fusion. Like, the whole thing where the planet's core is actually built of the remains of destroyed gems.
That might just wake up one day and destroy the planet.
Until Steven Universe, in a very Steven method, went down to the core and told him, hey, chill out, it's cool.
Yeah.
Everything's good here.
And now they're our friends.
Yeah. Well, that's
that's what
Steven's
Steven
MO.
does, but...
He turns everyone into Piccolo or Vegeta.
Yeah,
like
a good magical girl, Steven befriends with extreme prejudice.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
You know, we've had whole new characters like Bismuth and we found out what the diamonds were. We meet all the diamonds and what their deal is.
They went from vague to being characters who,
like, you know,
we know.
You know, we got to really meet and know, like, Lapis and Peridot, which we hadn't really met until the post-Garnet years.
Yeah, and their little hippie art commune out at Steven's family farm.
And then Garnet got married.
To herself.
Like, it was great.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm going to super give Steven Universe props, not for having this, like, on-screen lesbian wedding and a children's show with actual on-screen kiss, but that wasn't the end of the show. The show kept going. Like, there were more episodes after that. They didn't, like, save that for, like, the very tail end and they can't stop us now. You know, it's, they kept going with the show.
Yeah, that was part of it the whole way through.
It's like, it wasn't a whole lot of the show left till the current finale, but, you know, it wasn't the tail end of the show like a lot of shows that have been brave enough to have your little, yep, but there's a real gay relationship in this story, and we reveal it in the last episode so we don't ever have to address it again.
No, it was actually the prelude to the big finale.
Yeah, it was like the start of the final story arc. You know, it was like, okay. Like, I give them mad props for that, and my understanding is Rebecca Sugar really had to fight to make that happen. She, like, nearly took all her toys and went home.
Well, sadly, that is like the realm we live in with, unfortunately, modern broadcasting. Is that unless someone's really got your back, that those unfortunate social themes don't get to fly in children's cartoons, which is dumb because they totally should.
Because, oh man, Steven is the queerest kids show on TV, and it does it in such a wholesome, family-friendly way. It's amazing. It's I don't know. It's but it's easy for the kids to understand, and it's not overtly sexual in a way that would make normal humans uncomfortable.
I mean, there was even a whole episode where they had Carl, the guy who does Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, play himself as the quote unquote racist uncle, as it were.
Oh yeah. Oh, was that who did that?
I think so. Yeah. But no, there was a lot of really good moments. Even besides just the big overarching plot elements.
Right.
There were still really good individual episodes. And it's also kind of crazy on just how well, episodes 1 and 2 really do, in fact, set the stage.
Yeah.
For the rest of the show. In fact, even, the whole cookie cat thing.
Yeah.
When you realize that, the quote, he left his family behind.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, and that Steven is really almost addicted to these cookies. They are sort of his personal personification. In fact, it's what allows him to start using his gem powers to begin with. And the episode actually ends with him having to give up Cookie Cats as a thing. And Cookie Cats is Rose Quartz. Steven is Rose Quartz. That was the big thing, was, and Rose Quartz was, in fact...
Except that Steven isn't Rose Quartz.
Well,
Steven is Steven.
I should have said Steven is quote-unquote Pink Diamond.
Ah, yes.
Who was Rose Quartz.
Yes.
And is now Steven.
Except not?
Well, and one of the biggest things for Steven over the course of the series is he wants to know who his mom is.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he knows who his mom is. How does he rectify that? Oh, God, his mom was also Pink Diamond? How do you rectify that? Wait, I'm maybe Pink... Maybe I'm Rose Quartz? What, And then the end was him giving up Cookie Cat, him accepting himself as...
Accepting himself as Steven.
As Steven.
As his own entity separate from his mom or any of the...
Well, that is a big thing, and that goes back to what I was saying. This seemed almost like an antithesis against tiger momming. Because Steven at one point gets really confused. He has the pink diamond embedded in him. Everybody treats him like he's just a new skin on Pink Diamond.
The gems don't know what biological reproduction is.
No.
They regularly, if they undergo extreme damage and poof, they regularly come back in a somewhat different form.
So Steven has this question of, am I my mom? And the final answer is no. Steven is Steven.
And I just from reading other people talking about it, I know a lot of trans people found a very trans narrative in that whole thing.
Yes, there is.
The especially them having memories of Rose Quartz popping into his head, where they will sometimes have their memories before they started to transition, and they will be wrong in those memories, but they're not who they are now, and that it's it's often kind of traumatic to remember those things.
Well, yes, there's definitely a trans narrative going throughout all of Steven Universe.
I'm surprised I didn't notice it till nearly the end of the show. But...
Well, that really gets more encapsulated in how the diamonds react and adjust to Steven, and I think less to do with actually Steven.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think, and just clearing the air, totally cis het straight white male here. So please take everything grains of salt.
Grain of salt too. But I'm trying to just report what I see, less than what I've lived. But
the other gems, especially the diamonds, they see a very binary existence.
Maybe maybe
monary.
That's what would be one? Because they have one concept.
And a lot of this show is Steven breaking them of that concept.
Yeah.
Making them have to know that there is a spectrum here.
Yeah.
That there is light that refracts through all these crystals that exist.
Yeah.
You need to see this rainbow, as it were.
There's not one way to be. There's many ways to be.
Especially White Diamond, her deal is that she thinks she is perfection. Everything else should refract through her and just be her. Her special ability is to make you her. And Steven having to break her of that whole thing.
And that's pretty cool. But it's a hell of a ride. I mean, there's a ton of episodes between where we went from when we last talked through all sorts of stuff.
Well, then what's your favorite episode?
After just, out of all of them, I think it's, what was it? It's last one out of Beach City, I think, which is just all about them trying to get to a underground rock concert, but turns out to really be about Pearl getting up the nerve to talk to this one pink-haired girl, normal human pink-haired girl. That kind of reminds her a little bit of Steven's mom. And it's also, it's one of the best self-contained episodes, I think, of Steven Universe too, but it's okay, you don't really need much extra to go watch this episode. It brushes up against a few things from other episodes, but other than, it might not be a terrible, first episode to stumble onto.
What's your favorite episode? I know mine, but...
Oh, I don't actually know what my favorite episode is. There's so many episodes that I went back and watched multiple times. Mm-hmm. There's so many episodes that were just so good, but now that I'm sitting here trying to pick one, I can't. Give me some suggestions. What?
Okay, well, for me, and that's not maybe a specific episode, but a moment for a character. For me was the transformation from Lars into Captain Harlock.
That was pretty good.
That is the moment where suddenly out of nowhere, we finally figured out what in the world how Lion became Lion.
Yes.
Through Lars. Where Lars got gacked and Steven pretty much resurrected him with his healing powers. And then Lars turns pink and now has interdimensional portal capabilities. And then decides to hijack a spaceship from Homeworld with other offshoot gems, and now they have their own space pirate crew, which I felt was criminally underused in the show.
True, which, hey, still a movie, and maybe another season. But, yeah, no, I like Space Pirate Captain Lars, or whatever you want. That was okay. And then, it's weirdly, dying made Lars a better person. Well, actually, to be fair, heroically sacrificing himself probably made him a better person. He just happened to be able to get revived afterwards, and that was good for him. But
I think it may be the zoo.
Those are good.
The one with all the people in the ship.
Yeah.
Where it turns out the gems have a human zoo.
Yeah, I think that might be it. But I'm not sure. There's just so many episodes.
Right.
I also want to... Honorable mention goes to Giant Woman.
Yeah.
Honorable mention goes to the episode where Pearl... where Pearl, Steven, and Dad go to...
Oh, yeah, the big city, whatever the city was. But it's the entirely musical episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's got... it's got my second favorite song of the show. But
I mean, okay, so we try a different track. We've talked about how Steven grew up and how Steven changed, but all the characters changed.
yeah.
All the characters, grow and evolve. For example, Garnet or Ruby and Sapphire, even, where they had over this whole, rose quartz was pink diamond thing. They got they actually, Garnet argued himself so much he actually reverted back to Ruby and Sapphire. and both of them separately had to grow as individuals so they could combine back into a even more complete and awesome Garnet.
The only the most masculine gem we end up seeing ends up being Rainbow Quartz.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Pearl and Steven.
Oh, I loved Pearl and Stevens.
Yeah.
Oh, it made me so happy. Oh.
Pearl grows a lot.
And you realize that Pearl's been through some stuff.
Pearl has seen some shit.
She was there with Pink Diamond and vis-a-vis Rose Quartz through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where Rose even more or less goes, you can't say crap.
Yeah. And, apparently she literally can't.
Nope.
And it's like, man, that's like you get why Pearl was like, figured that her and...
that's some Fey magic kind of stuff.
Yeah, Pearl, you can see why Pearl thought her and Rose Quartz were like endgame romance for most of her life. She goes, that's like, I am devoted enough to you to lie about your entire identity forever,
Well, she doesn't have a choice. It was a command from a diamond.
But, it's Pearl who kind of encouraged her to, cut loose a little. But, Pearl's got an arc, and she even gradually learns to tolerate humans.
Yeah. And then, there's things like, Amethyst, where she was,
she was
an Earth gem, born and raised.
And completely irresponsible and, completely intractable.
And eventually becomes, in many cases, like the most reasoned and, responsible and voice of reason to the other ones when you're expecting her to be the goof-off. And no, she ends up becoming, at times, the best gem of all of them.
Yeah. That's a...
And then we have, our wonderful, villainous, Peridot, who, just becomes this absolute treasure of a gem.
There will be times when you're watching the show where, depending on your speed, depending on your mileage, you may start to get a little bit bored of the show. Peridot keeps you right there.
Yeah. Oh. And she's, I don't know, gradually learns that people are okay. And by people, I mean gems and humans and...
Then there's, of course, there's Lapis.
Yes.
Where, trapped forever in a mirror and then is let out and really, really does not want to be a crystal gem. She just wants to be left alone.
Kind of just wants to go home at first.
And eventually goes, you know what, screw it, I'm in this. And I believe, was it with with Blue Diamond, where everyone's crying, and I was like, I felt worse.
Yeah. Blue Diamond, whose power is this absolutely crushing wave of sadness. That's, well, I presume she just protects her emotions, but she usually feels a crushing wave of sadness anyways.
Because you discover that the loss of Pink Diamond really, really took its toll on all the other diamonds.
Well, the way they kind of set it up, I remember we talked about it in our first Steven Universe podcast, where we talked about how the crystal gems kind of formed this family unit for Steven. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit questionable about who's the mom, who's this, that, and what female role does everybody fill.
Even an episode that kind of seemed that when Connie's parents wanted to meet Steven's parents, and it's kind of even said to be, don't worry about too hard who's what in this family. They're just a family.
Yeah. Well, that seems even more that seems even more prominent when we actually get the diamonds that seem to express themselves even more like what we would equivalent to the family, where the mom is clearly White Diamond.
Right.
The older sisters are yellow and blue diamonds, with Pink Diamond was ostensibly
the baby
of this family where there's a mom and 3 daughters. And it's a very dysfunctional family. It doesn't work. White Diamond's mom parenting strategy is not a good strategy. It's not healthy. It's not good for any of her... It wasn't good for any of her children. The way her children manifested them onto themselves with Yellow Diamond trying to be big and strong and shoulder the burden and trying to do everything to impress the mom, and the mom is just never impressed. Blue kind of being free from that judgment from the mom of being either critical or too lenient, but at the same time she just has such like an attachment to her sisters that it nearly shatters her when it hears that when, for all intents and purposes, their sister has died.
And she's just got this crushing depression that no one's helping her deal with.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how we talk about how, Steven, had this sort of fake family unit or real family unit. I mean, not fake. And he realizes that, oh, wait, the Diamonds I've already done this. I've already dealt with all of this. And he actually uses his life experiences with his other family to have a sort of a fake cheat sheet to solve the Diamonds' problems.
Well, I think that's a thing that's very true with dysfunctional families. Even though you come from a dysfunctional family, it doesn't mean that your current family has to be dysfunctional. You can just have a healthy relationship with your existing family, and then maybe you can even go back once you have a place of stability that you come from. Then you can go back to your dysfunctional family and try to work things out, because everybody is trying the best that they know how. They just might not necessarily know how. A lot of the problems we see in dysfunctional families are not the problem of a single generation. They're problems that were learned over generations and generations of passing down bad habits.
Also, there's Greg.
Who's simultaneously... Well, he has his good dad moments and he has his bad dad moments.
Greg, seriously, I started the show thinking that he was, like, something of a deadbeat dad, and he is the exact opposite. Like, I did not give Greg enough credit.
Yeah.
Well, no, it turns out he realizes very quickly that Steven is a person of 2 worlds.
Yes.
And he can only do so much for his world.
Right.
And so he did the gems have to kind of raise him in their place because he can't do gem stuff.
Yeah, he is a little bit lost when it comes to, I don't know, weird magical powers or whatever you want to call it, that are just everyday life for gems.
And really, it's a case of not so much Greg not being in Steven's life as the gems have to learn to let Greg be in Steven's life.
Because, he does a lot of the first season is him gradually getting more into Steven's life again. And, after a little while, he's around a lot. He's present and he has, good dad advice. And even if he is a little bit unconventional, he's, this washed up old rocker guy, who's got a car wash, but he's still... I don't know. He has his own wisdom.
And he ends up becoming a millionaire because why not?
Yeah, because one of his songs suddenly caught on and became a jingle for a something. Fast food place? I don't remember.
Was it for a cat food?
No, they'll say some sort of commercial.
But, suddenly royalties. I think he was even lamenting he was having a hard time spending all this money.
Right. Well, he would just buy stuff, because he just had the money to spend.
But, he is a guy who was not well equipped to be filthy rich, except maybe because of that he was the best filthy rich guy.
And then there's Steven's best friend, Connie.
Yeah.
Who I thought was just be sort of more of a one-off, character here or there, kind of like, Ronaldo or Onion or...
No, she becomes very integral to so this is how healthy relationships function.
Yeah.
And part of the cheat sheet when he had to go back to dysfunction. And
Yeah. And, you know, seeing how Connie's family interacts is, I'm sure was, because like, you know, said earlier, is some ways Connie's mom was a lot like White Diamond. She had a similar sort of overprotectiveness and make your kid do the best they can, whether they want to do these things or not. Which, in small doses, might be a good thing, but when that's just overwhelming, it's, you know...
Well, in small doses, it can help motivate your kid to get up off their ass and do something.
It's good to encourage your kids to do things, especially if they, you know, show interest or talent in something, but, you know, you can't live your life through your children.
And on that note, let's take a break. We're going to come back with questions from internet people like you. Not us, you out there, people who are listening.
He's a frozen treat with an all-new taste, cause he came to this planet from outer space. A refugee of an interstellar war, but now he's at your local grocery store. Cookie Cat, he's a pet for your tummy. Cookie Cat, he's super duper yummy. Cookie Cat, he left his family behind. Cookie Cat!
Alright, we're back. You had questions because we asked for questions. And you gave them to us. Now we're going to answer them. That's how we do this here on the OSMcast, talking about some Steven effing Universe. But first, Tiger Millionaire, who is not Steven. He was a different wrestling personality. From Roku 13, if you had to make up a fresh move list for Tiger Millionaire, what you got?
This is not actually a funny joke, but he should have Shining Wizard. He should just know how to do a Shining Wizard. Every pro wrestler should. But that's not actually humorous. That's just my personal opinion.
I don't think there is a moveset for Tiger Millionaire. I think the only moveset left to him is run for president.
I mean...
unwittingly get elected. Commit mass...
fraud and conspiracy?
Yeah.
Well, I always asserted, though, that, you know, post-time skip Tiger Millionaire would just be Tiger the Great from Tiger Mask.
That's true. Okay, wait. Tiger Millionaire is Steven, that's right. I cannot remember these things. There were so many episodes. Sweet Ninja Kickflips.
Sweet Ninja Kickflips.
Much like the People's Wizard Bow. People should have sick kickflips. I'm bad at wrestling.
Yeah. I am my 90% of my wrestling knowledge. Okay, 70% of my wrestling knowledge comes from Tiger Mask W. The other 30% is half remembered stuff from the 80s and early 90s when I watched wrestling on and off.
So, Bill Foreman has a couple of good questions at Bill Foreman 999 on Twitter. What's everyone's favorite song from Steven Universe?
I don't know why the deep because the answer is easy. It's Giant Woman. Now, it may just be because it's the first episode of Steven Universe I saw, and was like, I want to watch this show with its giant women, and I want to find out more about this.
For me, I got absolutely obsessed with Garnet Song. Like, I played that song over and over again. I legit think that is a good song that I like to have in my life. But the song I find myself humming, like, to myself over and over again is Pearl's song from that one episode. It's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it over?
That's got to be, like, my second favorite. And it's just
a really good song.
Yeah, it's just an absolutely heartbreaking song. It's like, that's when I'm like, oh shit, I really feel for Pearl.
I think it have to be, geez, and I guess it can't be. I think Giant Woman is my favorite because that's the one, that is the tune that I'm always humming if I'm humming anything.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to say one of Greg's songs, and I like them, but Giant Woman is one of that I hum, although, as, you know, our editor Anna mentioned, like, her favorite is still, like, the theme song.
Yeah.
And which is fine, because it's a really great theme song.
I do like all of the Mr. Universe songs. They're like a particular flavor of rock that feels right to me.
Because we're Greg, Kevin.
Yeah, we're
kind of Greg.
We're kind of in his... We would have probably been the kids listening to rock music when he was doing rock music, and it's kind of that style.
Like, spoiler alert, like, for my life, I had a horrible nightmare the other night where I actually got this little kid's pronouns wrong. And I felt terrible, and nothing I could do to apologize was good enough. Like, because I had completely, you know, for them, I denied their existence, and I woke up feeling terrible.
That's a very 2019 fear.
And I feel that's sort of, it's like, I feel more like Greg than ever before watching this show. Like, you know, there are all these people out there who are finally learning to really express themselves, and I'm just this normal guy, and I can just do my best to be there for them however I can, but at the end of the day, that's not my world, and, you know, I can do my best, but I'm not a crystal gem. I'm not that amazing.
That is kind of a... Yeah, that is Greg. He is the cis-het male who's just wants to be the best ally he can. That is Greg in a nutshell.
So okay. Bill also asks, where are your expectations for the movie, or what do you think the movie is going to be about? I am not quite sure that they're going to do what they're going to do with it, because they pretty much wrapped up every plot thread in the last arc/episodes. And, well, there's plenty of stuff they can do. There's tons of characters out there. It's not like they have lacking of...
So we still don't actually know what the diamonds are. Like, we know who they are now. We know them as characters and as people. Yeah. We know they're kind of dynamic among each other. But we don't really know why they exist. Like, what made White Diamond? White Diamond theoretically made everybody else, or the diamonds still theoretically came from somewhere. So where did they come from? I don't think that this is a question that will be answered directly. I think it'll be answered indirectly by the appearance of another colored diamond. Like, there's other colored rocks out there.
You could have a black diamond, although those I think, only exist artificially. But...
Well, that could... I don't know if that's going to be it, but then that's something they could have created, an artificial diamond to take Pink Diamond's place. Like, who knows what they did. I mean, my answer is, okay, this is clearly one of those, okay, an anime did well, but it was over. Now they need a new, like, random antagonist for them to team up and beat. You know, very much sort of the Shonen Jump movie aesthetic. Yeah. I could see that being a thing.
Okay. Here's my pitch. 1.5-hour romantic comedy about getting Pearl and the pink-haired mystery girl together.
And it turns out the Pink Witch actually is Rose Quartz. She's actually back. What? No! it turns out that much like the moment when White Diamond plucked the diamond out of Steven, and suddenly he was two beings who was clearly not together anymore, and he had to sort of accept himself and became one just all being, was done by one of the major Disney animators throughout the years. So Steven's officially a Disney princess, sort of.
Oh my god, that was such a beautiful scene too. It
was really good. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be fun. It'll be great.
I need some closure with the pink-haired girl. If not the movie, you better make that season 6. I need closure with the pink-haired girl. I'm very invested in this maybe romance.
And I don't know why. When we went into Pearl's mind, we saw that she gets numbers from girls all the time.
I know. I love that. That's like, there's like just phone numbers inside Pearl's little internal storage space. And it's like, I was even like one with like a lipstick mark on it. And it's like, for all I know, when we don't see her, Pearl is getting mad action.
All right, from Reverend _ Tobias or Tobias McNabb, friend of the show. I mean, these are all friends of the show. But favorite anime / gaming reference. Utena.
Yeah.
No, I already said it first.
Damn it, Basil.
You gotta make a new one. Yeah, I knew it. Like,
damn you, Basil. Okay, I'm going for my number 2.
GameCube, yes. All right, now third.
No, that wasn't my number 2, but it is how Blue Diamond is for basically a Leiji Matsumoto girl, and Yellow Diamond is basically Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and that's visually, and I love that.
You took the Utena all the Utena references, so I'm having to...
There's a lot of Utena references in Steven Universe.
I'm having to go through and I'm having to think, because there's a lot of them, and there's so many that when they happened in the moment, I was like, yeah, you see that? That's so cool, but ultimately a reference is just a reference.
It's true, a completely different answer would be, actually, I love the general sort of chip tune, audio aesthetic that the show has. It's not anything particular, but it's a really chill, good vibe that the show has going for it audioly. Yes,
I agree. I agree with that. So I do like that whole kind of chiptune vibe too. I like how it constantly does make references to anime and video games, to kind of retro anime and video games, but it never does so in a way that if you don't get the reference that you missed anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can definitely see what looks like a Sailor Moon manga in the background that apparently Stephen reads. It's little things, good things.
I think my favorite has to be Yuri and Victor just randomly appearing in the background.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I think it happened in the show once or twice too. I think just randomly in the background, just Yuri and Victor just honeymooned or somewhere around
each city.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they need to get together on that and do a Steven Universe Yuri on Ice crossover.
Tobias' other question was, what kind of project do you want to see Rebecca Sugar and the other staff work on next? Clearly you want...
more, I want more Steven Universe. But, no.
Well, this also I feel is a little bit of a trick question, because the real truth is that a lot of the primary staff members are already working on other shows on Cartoon that's already airing.
Yeah, that is true.
Ian Jones Quarterly is doing OKKO.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really good show.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt Burnett and another guy whose name I'm now blanking on, they are doing Crank at the Creek.
Yeah, which is also really good.
Yeah.
So a lot of the staff are already actually doing other shows. And in fact, Steven Universe was already more or less so well planned out. Most of the staff could do both because a lot of the hard work was done ahead of time.
I guess the only real answer that this question can have is that I just want to see them and the staff have the freedom. I think they've earned the freedom to make another completely new property, because they did this one new property and it was successful. So I think they have the chops to continue to go on and do new properties. Right. I do not particularly want to see them do reimaginings of previous properties.
Yeah.
Just so I'm clear, Crank at the Creek, Matt Burnett and Ben Levin.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I get their names right. I don't want to goof on that. But yeah, pretty much I would love to see more new neat things. Now, is that a Steven Universe Stevens Season 6? Steven 6.
Steven 6.
That would be fine. There's plenty of characters. Again, I would love to go back and see all the adventures of Space Pirate Captain Lars. I would love to see all the random, there's all sorts of new gems to deal with.
Yeah.
They saved them. They're there.
And if sort of spiritually similar but totally different show, Land of the Lustrous, taught me anything, there's a shitload more kind of gems that you could make characters out of.
So, but whatever they want to do, you know what? I believe in them. Yeah. Absolutely. They can do whatever they want, and I will watch it.
Yeah, they did such a good job with Steven Universe that I would trust just about any of them to run a show and see how it came out and train up like a new generation of animators.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more or less what happened here,
yeah.
right?
Because a lot of Sugar was on Adventure Time, and she laid a lot of the groundwork for many cool things in Adventure Time, but and then she was like, hey, doing my own show.
And, made this wonderful sort of I won't say a dream team, but they created a dream team that have been able to now go out and express their own works, and hopefully they get to train up folks to express their own works. And I really hope that Cartoon sort of creates this whole corral of
So I just want to see what other like what other fantastic ideas have people had while they were working on this. What other pet projects are there? And like I said, but I don't particularly want to see them, like, I don't want to see a reboot of the Smurfs.
By Rebecca Sugar. It'll be amazing.
It would probably be good.
It would be good. I'm sure it would be.
I hate the Smurfs, so that's saying something.
But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I don't want them to be given another intellectual property and say, manage this now. I want them.
I would like to see them get a chance to just do whatever they think would be entertaining for the rest of us.
Now, that said, if what they want to do is a reboot or reimagining of something else, okay, fine. Like, because, for example, DuckTales.
Yeah, like if that's coming from their desire to do that, then they're going to have that same passion that they would like. So a few weeks ago we were talking about me completely redoing Gundam Wing. And how different would that be if I personally rebooted Gundam Wing? It would still be a good show, but it would be a very different show. I think it's the kind of same thing there, where if they have that passion in them to reboot the thing with their new spin on it, then I think that would be great, and that falls exactly in line with what I want to see.
Yeah, right.
But I don't want more things like She-Ra, Carmen Sandiego, and the new Thundercats. Like,
on the other hand, if they want to do a reboot of Tiger Sharks, the poor little cousin of like Thundercats and Silverhawks, I'd get behind that because no one remembers it, so it'd basically be new.
I'm tired of the She-Ra Thundercats and Carmen Sandiego.
I have not seen the new Thundercats, although I love those other two shows.
It hasn't come out yet, but it doesn't look good.
I do love.
I don't know. I really, really, really like the new She-Ra.
Well, of those three that I just kind of like blew through, She-Ra is the best of them. But my problem is that there's a lot like them, and it's a little bit painful how obviously you can see the hand of the art professor that everybody was clearly had the same class with.
I don't know. I can't stand the way Ruby and similar shows look, and so I sort of get that. Even if it's good, that the style bugs me.
Well, on that note, Steven Universe, how many awesomes out of awesomes are we going to give Steven Universe now? Note that this may or may not be the same thing we said before. I don't remember what we said before.
I don't remember what we said before either.
Not a clue.
So, if it's the same, whoops. But otherwise...
A big old fused obsidian of awesome.
I'm going to give it 7 awesomes out of awesome.
But 7 what?
Like, rainbow colors.
Cool. Kevin?
I said, one big giant fused obsidian of awesome.
Yeah.
Because obsidian was awesome.
I'm going to give it... This was one great giant cluster of amazement with a big giving a big thumbs up at the end. Out of awesome.
Yeah.
So again, this has been the OSMcast production of the OSMcast network, I guess. I mean, we kind of are now a network.
A subsidiary of Basil Co. Industries.
Good job, Basil.
Yeah. Sure. Anyways, you can find us at OSMcast.com. We're edited by Anna, our wonderful editor. Our theme song was done by DJ Inubito. You can find his stuff at djinubito.com. Again, you can find us at OSMcast.com. Check us out on Twitter. The OSMcast is at OSMcast. I'm at It's Basil Time. Kevin's at Twitless_Kevin. And you can find Doug's artwork that you can buy on redbubble.com/umitsu. So yeah, until next time, we out.
It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?